A single misstep in the jungles of Vietnam didn't just mean a firefight, it meant triggering some of the most psychologically terrifying, unseen weapons of the 20th century. The Viet Cong didn't have the heavy machinery of the US military, so they mastered guerrilla engineering. They turned the jungle itself into a weapon, designing booby traps engineered not just to cause lethal damage, but to shatter the morale of exhausted troops. Let's break down exactly how these mechanical nightmares actually worked, starting from the ground up. The foundation of almost every trap was the Punji stake, bamboo hardened by fire, razor sharp, and deliberately coated in toxic organic matter, like animal waste or snake venom, to guarantee severe infection. If a soldier fell through the perfectly camouflaged foliage of a standard Punji pit, the sheer volume of spikes was often instantly fatal, making rescue nearly impossible. They even rigged essential pathways. A seemingly normal wooden bridge would be intentionally weakened. The moment a soldier reached the center, it would snap, dropping them directly into a riverbed lined with submerged Punji stakes. But the Viet Cong quickly innovated to target the element of rescue itself. Enter the Venus flytrap. Buried beneath the mud, this box featured downward-pointing spikes. Slipping a foot in was easy. Pulling it out was catastrophic. The spikes would lock deep into the flesh, meaning the soldier couldn't be extracted without tearing the limb apart, forcing the entire platoon to halt. When standard metal bear traps became too easy for American metal detectors to spot, they built their own. 2 spiked boards buried side by side, one step, and the boards folded inward, driving spikes horizontally through the ankle. For narrow paths where digging large pits was impossible, they scaled the danger down to a single inch. The cartridge trap was virtually undetectable. A single rifle round balanced perfectly on a nail embedded in a block of wood. The weight of the heel acts as the firing pin, sending the bullet exploding straight up through the foot. But the cartridge trap wasn't the only explosive hidden in the dirt. The Viet Cong also engineered mudball mines. By removing the safety pin of a standard American hand grenade, they would encase the entire explosive in thick, sun-baked clay. The hardened mud held the spoon in place. Once perfectly camouflaged on a trail, the moment a heavy combat boot stepped on it, the clay shattered, releasing the lever and triggering an instant blast. As soldiers learned to watch their step, the traps evolved to strike higher up. The spike board operated on a ruthless seesaw mechanic. Covered by leaves, stepping on the safe end violently vaulted, the spiked opposite end directly into the soldier's chest or face. While the spike board relied on the soldier's own weight, other traps were already loaded and waiting to snap. The side-closing trap utilized thick rubber bands stretched across 2 spiked slats of wood. When a boot knocked away the center support stick, all that stored kinetic energy was released at once, driving the spikes deep into the legs or waist. Even more devastating was the bamboo whip. By bending a thick stalk of bamboo and loading the tip with spikes, the jungle itself became a loaded spring. A simple tripwire released the catch, sending the spiked end whipping into a patrol at blinding speed. They also utilized that same tension to launch projectiles. The arrow trap used a hollowed-out piece of bamboo as a barrel, housing a sharpened arrow attached to a heavy-duty rubber band, hooked to a hidden tripwire. Breaking the line snapped the rubber band forward, firing the arrow silently into the legs or torso of an advancing soldier. But looking down at the dirt, or straight ahead into the brush, still left a fatal blind spot, straight up. The mace trap was a heavy sphere of wood, cement, or hardened mud bristling with spikes. Tied to a tree and held back by a hidden trigger, tripping the wire sent the massive weight swinging down with enough momentum to crush anything in its path. Similarly, the tiger trap relied purely on a dead drop. A heavy spiked board suspended high above the trail would detach the moment the wire was pulled, falling directly onto the head of the soldier below. This vertical threat even followed soldiers indoors. Clearing houses was already incredibly dangerous, but the door trap made it a lethal gamble. The door itself acted as the lever. Opening it pulled the tripwire, swinging a suspended spiked trap right into the doorway. But this aerial threat wasn't just limited to foot soldiers. Anticipating American Huey helicopters, they rigged massive explosives, like mortar rounds or clustered grenades, high up in the trees surrounding a landing zone. Tripwires were strung across the canopy gap, designed to be snagged by the helicopter's skids as it descended. raining shrapnel down on the troops inside. As if mechanical spikes weren't terrifying enough, the Viet Cong began weaponizing the local wildlife. The green pit viper, a highly venomous snake, was frequently incorporated into their designs. Falling into a pit didn't just mean getting impaled. It meant being trapped in an enclosed space with an agitated, striking viper. They would even leave vipers inside bags or packs for unsuspecting soldiers to open. They also utilized the aggressive local hornets. A tripwire would rip open a box containing a massive nest. The real danger wasn't just the stings. The resulting panic would cause soldiers to scatter blindly off the safe path, directly into the surrounding Punji pits placed exactly where they would burn. This explosive ingenuity was perfected in the grenade in a can. By removing the safety pin and cramming the grenade into a tight tin can, the spoon was held in place. A tripwire across the trail simply pulled the grenade out of the can. With zero delay, the explosion was instantaneous. But the Viet Cong didn't just rely on their own supplies or the jungle. They seamlessly blended this stolen firepower with the environment. A seemingly natural coconut would be hollowed out, packed tightly with scavenged gunpowder and sharp metal shrapnel, and rigged with a concealed tripwire. A soldier scanning the trees for a sniper might trip over a piece of fruit that functioned exactly like a fragmentation grenade. This psychological warfare extended to moments of rest. Exhausted troops looking for a quick meal or a war trophy couldn't even trust the garbage on the trail. Discarded USC ration cans were packed with explosives and a makeshift pull friction fuse. Twisting the metal key to open the can would ignite a blasting cap. Knowing troops loved collecting souvenirs, they meticulously rigged enemy flags left out in the open. The flagpole would be wired directly to a buried artillery shell. Pull the flag, detonate the trap. These traps were so indiscriminate that the Viet Cong had to invent a constantly rotating system of trap markers, arrangements of sticks or leaves, just to keep their own forces from being decimated. If you saw the marker, a trap was waiting. But the traps on the surface were just the first line of defense. Beneath the jungle floor lay a massive, claustrophobic network of underground fortifications, living quarters, and subterranean traps designed to swallow entire squads. If you want